Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a classic rock reaction, man. This is Led Zeppelin, a song called For Your Life. It's off of the Presence album, which is their seventh studio album. Decent length of this song, man, over 6 minutes. So looking forward to it. Before I pop this off, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you're having a nice, safe Christmas and a happy holiday season. Let's get this going, man. For Your Life. For Your Life, Led Zeppelin. Let's get it. Serious song. John Bonham is all over this shit.
Your
a great jam. Wow. All right. For Your Life. That was a masterful jam in itself. I see it as two songs in one. What do I mean? The musicianship is just, of course it's phenomenal. It's Led Zeppelin. They're jamming, they're great. John Bonham is all over this, man. Guitaring everything, bass groove, fantastic. Plant singing, great. He's really leaning into it from a very emotional point of view. He's singing about somebody in his life who ruined themselves with drugs. Cocaine being the drug of choice here. Yeah, so when I say two songs in one, on one side, it's the great musicianship that you just can't ignore. But on the other side, the story just had me from the very beginning. As soon as he opened his mouth, it threw me there because she had his lemon in her hand. So another lemon reference, man. Throwing back to the Lemon song, it almost made me laugh out loud for a minute. But once we got past that humorous part, it was just all about this. It's a lady who is just ruining her life with cocaine. And it even gets into the aftermath. Once all of her resources have dried up, once all of her fame and her beauty and all of that stuff is now gone, and she's got to fold up her show, he's telling her, try and get out with your life while you still can. Don't hit total rock bottom and do something really desperate and stupid. Get yourself together. Powerful song. And I imagine back in those times, every single rock star definitely knew somebody personally who was ruining themselves with so many different drugs of choice, man. Very, very powerful. That's why I describe this song as being two songs in one. The instrumentals on one side, and this really, really interesting and compelling story being told on the other side. And man, every single one of these guys had their moments here. And Robert's singing was excellent. He really leaned into this, man. For Your Life and Presence. 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Yeah, decent length, man. Yeah, it had me. And you know what? They could have carried this on and I wouldn't have been bored. This jam could have easily been extended into a 15-20 minute jam, easy. and probably the story being extended as well. There's so many ways so many different places you can go with this tune, man. Great platform for something extended. So, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin reaction on Christmas Day. So let's do a little read here, man. Get a little background. I know that the Presence album, the period of time that the Presence album was being recorded and produced, they were having a tremendous amount of trouble and struggle. A lot of you in the comments have said to me that it is not their best creatively. It was rushed. They are not as epic, the songs, as their previous works. Mind you, there's still enough good in it. So that's the idea of this album that I'm getting. So I'm interested in the story behind it all, what they were going through, what they were thinking, how they were feeling, circumstances, and all of that stuff. So let's hope we can learn a few things, man. So let's do a short read here. Well, maybe not so much a short read. There's a lot of info. Okay, I'll bounce around a bit. So, For Your Life. For Your Life is about a friend of Robert Plant's who got into drugs. Plant was convalescing from a car accident during recording. He sang this from a wheelchair. Jimmy Page used his 1962 Fender Stratocaster for the first time on this. He would later use it with his band The Firm. The Firm with Paul Rodgers. Jimmy Page noted on the spontaneous nature of the song in an interview, claiming it was made up in the studio, right on the spot. Great jam, fantastic. See, they were in the zone at that time. After Physical Graffiti, they knew that they could just literally just roll out of bed and just create something. That's where they were at in their creativity, man. Just a snap of the finger on demand. Led Zeppelin never played this live until the Led Zeppelin tribute to Ahmet Ertegun benefit concert held in London on December 10th, 2007. Jason Bonham, the son of John Bonham, sat in on the drums with Page, Plant, and John Paul Jones. Among the celebrities who attended the show were Mick Jagger, Paul McCartney, Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, David Gilmour, Dave Grohl, Marilyn Manson, Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie Presley, Michael J. Fox, Pink, Juliette Lewis, Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, Steve Winwood, and let's just stop there, man. So let's read about the album itself. Presence. Presence is the seventh studio album by English rock band Led Zeppelin, released by Swan Song Records on the 31st of March in 1976. While the album was a commercial success, reaching the top of both the British and American album charts and achieving a triple platinum certification in the US, it received mixed reviews from critics and was the lowest selling album by the band while they were still active. The album was written and recorded in the last months of '75 during a difficult time in the band's history. Robert Plant was recuperating from serious injuries he had sustained earlier that year in a car accident. He was afraid he'd never walk again. This led to tours being cancelled and the band booking studio time to record Presence instead. The entire album was completed in a few weeks, with guitarist and producer Jimmy Page putting in several long shifts to complete recording and mixing. The title came from the strong presence the group felt as they worked together. Yeah, absolutely. The album's artwork from Hypnosis, Hypgnosis, I guess it's pronounced Hypnosis, featured several photographs centered around a mysterious black object called the Object. Presence is dominated by compositions by Page and Plant, with only one track credited to the entire group. Unlike other Zeppelin albums, it features no keyboards and little acoustic guitar. Because Plant was still recuperating, the band could not tour to capitalize on the album's release, and only 2 tracks, including 10-minute opener Achilles' Last Stand, were performed live. However, the album has been reappraised in retrospective reviews for its hard rock dynamics and simplicity compared to the group's other works. Okay, yeah. So let's see what the critics got to say about this, man. In a contemporary review for Rolling Stone, Stephen Davis said, "Presence established Led Zeppelin as the premier heavy metal act and featured some exceptional rock music, highlighting the clean and purifying guitar riffs. In spite of a few dull blues rock songs, the album was another monster in what by now is a continuing tradition of battles won by this band of survivors," in Davis's opinion. Yeah, it's a contemporary review. Okay. And Robert Christgau was less enthusiastic in The Village Voice, citing, quote, "Hot On for Nowhere" as a commanding cut, while finding much of the rest consistent but unnecessary in comparison with earlier recordings. Unnecessary in comparison with earlier recordings. Okay, we'll revisit that after I go through the whole album. Neil McCormick of the Daily Telegraph claimed it was Zeppelin at their most blunted, awarding it 2 stars out of 5. Pitchfork's Mark Richardson dubbed Presence as one of Zeppelin's worst albums. However, he added, "None of these songs sound like they could have come from another record." In a retrospective review, a Q critic who gave the album 3 out of 5 stars wrote, "Presence sounds as rushed as it was." Yeah, let's read one more. According to Dave Lewis, the direct, hard-hitting nature of the 7 recordings failed to connect with a fan base more accustomed to the diversity and experimental edge of their previous work. That's interesting. What do you think? Is that accurate? Page later acknowledged that because the album conveys a sense of urgency resulting from the troubled circumstances in which it was recorded, and there's a quote, he says, "It's not an easy album for a lot of people to access. It's not an easy album for a lot of people to listen to." Lewis nonetheless believed that Presence was underrated, and its music packs a considerable punch, highlighting Page's playing and the production on the album. Fellow journalist Mick Wall said it pulled Led Zeppelin back from the brink of crisis. Yeah, lots going on there. Between, I guess, rumors of Jonesy wanting to leave, and Bonham's drinking, and Page's heroin use, and Plant's accident. There was a lot of stuff going on, and obviously it did affect their work, their creativity. But so far, 2 songs in, I am still impressed as hell, and I'm digging this song. I like the song. Of course, I love the Achilles' Last Stand. So as we wade more into the album, we'll see how accurate, in my opinion, their opinion was, these critics. And we'll see. Of course, there's got to be a best and there's got to be a worst. And so we'll see how bad, Led Zeppelin can get. And go from there. The good, bad, and the ugly, man. It's all good. So, let me just scroll down here, man, and just take a look, check my notes before I bounce. Okay, man, it's Christmas today, the 25th. What I'm doing is I'm just going to continue with the artist of the month being the Allman Brothers, and my goal is to get their first 6 albums complete by the end of the year. And I'm going to, of course, continue with my complimentary quads and get 1 or 2 Patreon exclusives in there. And by the end of the year, probably get a 3rd Led Zeppelin reaction done. I think that'll be reasonable enough, and go from there. So being the 25th, man, I just want to get your attention, patrons, to give me your recommendations for Artist of the Month for January. And that would be great if you can get that to me as soon as you can. and we'll go from there, man. But yeah, this is a great song. Tells a great story. Tells a true story, obviously, and very, very personal. And it doesn't really, in the end, kind of encapsulate what happened to Paige's friend. If she had got herself together, if she recovered, or if she was just another victim of those times and being in that crowd and substance abuse and crazy partying and that fast life. So that's very, very interesting. I wonder whatever became of his friend. If you know, and if you know this story specifically, clue me in. Let me know whatever happened to Robert Plant's friend. Did she make it? Did she, pull it out, or was she lost? Let me know if you know. So For Your Life. I don't know what the other track is following present or For Your Life on Presence, but I would say if today's the 25th, I'll be hitting it up again probably by the 30th is my guess. I want to have a little bit of time to catch up on my complimentary quads more specifically, and a couple of Patreon exclusives. And of course, finishing off the last two of the first 6 of the Allman Brothers albums. That's my goal for the rest of the year, man. And it looks like without any interruptions, I should be able to reach it. So thank you very much for joining me, man. Hope you like this reaction. Great song. And the Presence album, I'm very, very, I'm looking forward to checking out their worst. I've seen their best, and according to a lot of people, this is their worst. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a great Christmas, a happy New Year. Well, I'll see you before the New Year, but a safe holiday season. And the next time I see you will be tomorrow, and I'll be looking at either getting side 1 of the Allman Brothers' 5th album out, and maybe a Patreon exclusive, and hopefully a complimentary quad in there somehow, and we'll go from there. Anyways, you guys have yourselves a good Christmas and a safe Boxing Day tomorrow if you're going out. Take care. Peace.